This year, you have North Carolina inexplicably gets in. John Rothstein called it a miscarriage of justice. Might be a little too strong for my blood, but I get it. I totally understand where he's coming from. And the teams that are left behind aren't exactly the UNCGs of the world. You got Indiana. I mean, give or take a few years, they're a blue blood. And, then you have West Virginia, a Big 12 team that went 10-10 in the Big 12. So make sense of that from the business. If you can't, you can't. Just like, what did you think of
that? Well, the Carolina thing is interesting. I had already put a lot of weight on it. So that's what I think that's the part I want to explain is my entire body of work that I do for my website and for all the, Field 68, all that stuff I'm part of is to try to tell and educate the public on what the process is and why certain things are possible and certain things aren't possible. And I've learned a lot over the years. I have a bubble workbook. I have an entire workbook for all teams considered for the tournament, whether it's the 12 to 16 seeds, the top 4 seeds, or the bubble. I do it all, and I break it down by category. If I learn of a new category, I'll add it for next year. And I don't know if I should for next year, but I might need to add television ratings because it's going through the process and studying it, and then also putting a lot of weight on North Carolina already on my own, on the Bubba Cunningham factor being the chairman. I had put North Carolina in my field, even though if I was voting, I probably wouldn't have. I'm just trying to tell the public what I think is going to happen. So I had them in my field the morning of the Duke game. Then they take another loss. Then you look at their record again, and they're 1-12 in that top quad. Obviously, 3 of those losses to Duke. They played Auburn, played Michigan State. They had a lot of good wins, a lot of quote unquote good losses at the top. But you got to prove at one point that none of that matters unless you beat one of them. Anybody can go lose to them.
Right.
And I get it. Carolina played better in the last 3 or 4 weeks. And I would not be surprised if they go and take this bid and get a couple wins and try to change the narrative.